We have made a soft promise to investors that once we've built this sort of generally intelligent system, basically we will ask it to figure out a way to generate an investment return for you. It sounds like an episode of Silicon Valley.
Welcome to This Explainer. Look, right now we are bypassing all the daily noise to look at the actual facts surrounding Sam Altman. He is literally the man at the absolute center of the generative AI revolution. But, here's the thing. While everybody knows the name ChatGPT, very few people actually understand the highly calculated, decades-long playbook that made it happen. So today, we're cutting through the headlines and digging straight into the data to see the exact path he took to get here. Because understanding his past, well, that's absolutely crucial to understanding the future he's building for all of us. So you might be wondering, how exactly does a curious kid messing around on an early computer in St. Louis end up dictating the future of global technology? As our sources point out, this journey really started way back at age 8 when he got his very first computer. That single gift sparked this lifelong passion for tech. But passion alone doesn't reshape global economies and our daily lives, right? That requires a very specific set of strategic moves. Okay, Chapter 1, from dropout to founder. Let's dive right into this timeline. Our story officially kicks off at Stanford University. He enrolled there in 2003 to study computer science. But as we see with so many legendary tech figures, he quickly realized that traditional education just wasn't his path. At just 19 years old, after exactly 2 years of college, he made the incredibly bold decision to drop out. He actually later noted that 2 years was the exact right amount of time, and staying longer would have had vastly diminishing returns. But he didn't just leave to go figure things out. He left to co-found a pioneering mobile app called Looped. Now, we have to remember the context of the mid-2000s here. The massive smartphone boom we know today hadn't even happened yet. But Looped was already letting users share their real-time location with friends. Building that kind of app in that era was incredibly prescient. It really showed his distinct ability to see years ahead of the current market. After serving as CEO for 7 years and raising some significant venture capital, he secured his first major exit. Looped was acquired by Green Dot Corporation for $43.4 million. Now, okay, in the grand scheme of Silicon Valley unicorns, 43 million might not sound like the biggest number you've ever heard. But for a 26-year-old at the time, it provided something vastly more valuable than money. It bought him absolute credibility. It basically minted him as a proven, successful operator and got him immediate respect among the Silicon Valley elite. Which brings us to Chapter 2, Building the Builders. He parlayed that newfound credibility directly into Silicon Valley's most prestigious startup accelerator, Y Combinator. Interestingly enough, his startup, Looped, had actually been part of Y Combinator's inaugural batch back in the summer of 2005. He clearly left an impression because he joined as a partner in 2011. And by 2014, at just 28 years old, he succeeded founder Paul Graham to become president of the entire organization. And this is where the sheer scale of his influence as a meta-founder becomes just astonishing. During his tenure as president from 2014 to 2019, he helped launch over 4,000 companies. I mean, think about your daily digital life. Booking a stay on Airbnb, paying online with Stripe, ordering dinner through DoorDash, or just browsing Reddit. He had a direct hand in launching and advising the actual infrastructure of the modern internet. Moving on to Chapter 3, Founding OpenAI. So while he was busy overseeing literally thousands of startups at Y Combinator, he was quietly looking toward a totally different frontier. Picture this, it's December 2015, and operating out of a converted luggage factory in San Francisco, he co-founded a nonprofit artificial intelligence research company called OpenAI. He launched it alongside Elon Musk, Greg Brockman, Ilya Sutskever, and others, armed with $1 billion in initial funding. But why do this? Well, at the time, massive tech giants were aggressively hoarding AI talent and secrets. So OpenAI was conceived as a necessary counterforce. Their core mission from that luggage factory wasn't just to push the boundaries of computing, it was to develop friendly AI, meaning artificial intelligence built openly and deliberately designed to directly benefit all of humanity, rather than just one single corporate entity. Let's jump to 2019. Altman stepped down from Y Combinator to become the full-time CEO of OpenAI. And this is where an absolutely critical structural shift happens. To train highly advanced AI, You need supercomputers, and supercomputers cost billions of dollars to build and run. A traditional, strict nonprofit simply could not raise the massive capital required to compete with tech monopolies. So he executed this highly controversial yet brilliant hack. He deliberately shifted OpenAI to a unique capped profit model. This allowed them to actually offer returns to attract massive investors like Microsoft, while still technically being governed by the original nonprofit board. It was a calculated move to secure billions in computing power without completely abandoning their founding soul. That structural pivot and the billions in funding it unlocked completely set the stage for November 2022. When ChatGPT launched to the public, it wasn't just a product release. No, it was an overnight paradigm shift for the human race. The generative AI revolution had officially begun. Within days, millions of people were suddenly using an AI to write complex essays, generate functional code, and solve problems at lightning speed. And this profound shift in human-computer interaction was rapidly followed by industry-defining tools like GPT-4, DALL-E, which totally redefined visual creativity, and Sora for hyper-realistic video generation. Almost instantly, Altman became the most recognizable face in tech, meeting with world leaders and actively shaping the global conversation on AI regulation. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Chapter 4, the board crisis. This unprecedented rise was met with equally unprecedented corporate turbulence. Setting the scene here, in late 2023, the tech world was absolutely stunned by a corporate drama that seemingly came out of nowhere. Impartially reporting the facts from our sources here, on Friday, November 17th, the OpenAI board of directors abruptly fired Sam Altman as CEO. They publicly stated that they had lost confidence in his ability to continue leading the company. And in the corporate world, their specific reasoning was a devastating accusation. They explicitly claimed he was not consistently candid in his communications. The internal backlash to this decision was absolutely staggering. Within hours, 745 out of OpenAI's 770 total employees signed an open letter threatening to quit immediately. That is nearly 97% of the entire company, including some of the brightest AI researchers on the planet, ready to walk out the door and join a newly forming AI research team at Microsoft, unless the board resigned and Altman was immediately reinstated. I mean, it was just an unprecedented display of corporate loyalty. Over 5 frantic days, the entire tech industry held its breath, watching this real-time corporate thriller unfold. Following the firing on November 17th, chaos basically reigned through the weekend. Microsoft swooped in to offer Altman and his team a home, while OpenAI desperately burned through 3 different interim CEOs in a matter of days. The pacing of the pressure was immense. Finally, breaking the standoff on November 21st, an agreement was struck for his return. By November 29th, the arrangement was completely formalized, bringing Altman back to the helm in total victory, flanked by a newly appointed board of directors. The crisis had been survived. Which brings us to today. Chapter 5, the future of AI. Having weathered that massive storm, Altman is now steering OpenAI toward tremendous growth goals for 2026. He's currently prepping the company for a potential massive IPO, pushing through necessary internal reorganizations, and actively sitting down with White House officials to hash out critical issues like AI safety and national cybersecurity. But to really grasp his influence, we have to look beyond OpenAI. He is a billionaire orchestrating an astonishing portfolio of over 400 companies. And when you look closely, you realize it's like a giant puzzle. He isn't just building an AI company, he's investing in the fundamental infrastructure of an AI-driven future. He's backing Helion Energy, a nuclear fusion company, because advanced AI requires limitless, clean electricity. He's backing WorldCoin, a digital identity network, to help prove who is actually human in an internet flooded with AI-generated content. Everything connects into one massive vision. If you really want to understand how a 19-year-old dropout becomes a global architect of technology, it ultimately comes down to one core ethos that has driven his entire life. He once stated, "Plans should be measured in decades. Execution should be measured in weeks." It literally hits the nail on the head. It requires a bold, massive, long-term vision for the future of humanity, paired perfectly with an almost relentless, immediate drive to get things done right now. As ChatGPT and his other vast technological bets continue to rapidly reshape our daily lives, rewrite our industries, and restructure the entire global economy, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ponder. If all of this is what he has built so far through execution measured in mere weeks, what exactly do the next decades hold for the rest of us? Thank you for joining me for this explainer, and as always, keep questioning the data.